Hello friends, so today we're going to finish our weavings, and last week you remember we talked about some patterns and we did our first two colors of our snakes, is what I like to refer them to, in our black loom. So today you're going to finish weaving your colors through your black loom, and then you'll be able to decorate the edges. I'll show you some different paper techniques you can use to decorate the edges. Before we get started finishing our weaving, we're going to review pattern because we are using a pattern to make our weaving today. So a pattern, remember, is something that repeats. That means it goes over and over again. The pattern we're using today is an A-B pattern because two things are repeating. When we talk about an A-B pattern alternates between the two letters A, B, A, B, A, B. Now our pattern is not made from letters, but our pattern is like a movement pattern that goes over, then under, then over, then under, over, under. Remember, we're using paper today to go over a piece of our loom and then underneath, then over, then under. Kind of like that snake that's going over and under through blades of grass. So we're going to use that pattern to finish our weavings today. Last time you were in art, you started your loom, you cut different lines in your loom, and then you wove two pieces of paper into your loom. Today we're going to fill the rest of that up like I said before. And so now we need to pick whatever color we want to start next with. I'm going to be going in the color of the rainbow. So I did red, then orange, now I'm going to use yellow. Now remember, whatever snake color we just did, our next one has to be the opposite of this one. So let's say I'm starting from my left side, this side here, and I see that my orange snake went under this black part first. If my yellow snake needs to do the opposite, he's not going to go under, he's going to go over this first black part of my loom. So my yellow snake's gonna go over, then under the next part of my loom. I'm gonna very carefully lift it up, going under, then over the next part, then under, then over. And remember, once you feed one of your snake colors through, don't leave it in the middle. Pull it down towards the bottom so you can add more colors to your weaving. It should be right on top of your other colors. If I did it the right way, they should start to alternate or look almost like a checkered board. I'm gonna pick another color. I'm gonna do the same thing, but remember, my next color snake needs to be the opposite of what I just did. So my yellow snake started by going over the first line on my loom. So my green snake's gonna go under. Remember, if I do the same thing as my yellow snake with my green, watch what happens. If I go over, then under, then over, then under, then over, when I move my green snake down, my green snake is gonna go right on top of my yellow snake, and your snakes don't wanna be too close together. So if you push your snakes together and they're the same, pull out the snake you just did and do the opposite. The opposite is going to be to start my green snake going under this first black part. I'm going to go under, then over, then under. Remember, very carefully lifting up my loom, then over, then under, and there we go. And once I do it, I'm going to pull my snake down. You are going to keep weaving over, under, over, under, or under, over, under, over until you fill up the rest of your weaving. Now that you have finished doing your weaving, the last thing you can do before you are done is you can add some paper details to the edge of your weaving. Our weaving right now kind of looks like a Navajo rug, like our book, The Goat in the Rug. So, in order to make our rug have some other details, we can add some fringe or different shapes on the end for some decoration. I'm going to remind you how to make a fringe cut, and there's 2 different ways you can do this today, and then you're going to decide what colors you want to add on the edge of your weaving like a rug. The first way you can do it is taking one long colored piece, and you can just make little straight line cuts for your fringe all the way across your paper. If you want to do that, go nice and slow, very small alligator chompers. I am making little cuts, and remember, I'm not cutting all the way through my paper. I want it, oops, that one was a little too long. I want it to make sure that I'm just cutting the edge, so just little cuts. And there we go. That took a long time because I really took my time to make nice little small fringe cuts. If you like the way this looks, what you can do is then taking your piece of paper, you can glue it right by your stop line and glue your fringe onto the edge. So I could take my glue stick rub my glue back and forth, make sure you have enough glue on there, and then very carefully I'm going to line up my edges and then just tap it down to make sure it sticks. If you see it's not sticking all the way down, you might need to add a little more glue. But then there is the fringe for my rug. If you want to do it a different way, you might pick 2 different colors of paper and you can make longer fringe cuts. And this is what's cool. I just made really long cuts there. I'm gonna trim it so that it's its own little piece, and then I can make what I would call different tassels. So maybe I'll have a pink one here, rub a little glue, glue down my pink tassel, and then maybe I want a blue one. So then maybe I'll take my blue, same thing, just little straight line fringe cuts. Carefully not cutting off all the fringe, but going a little higher, trimming it at the edge, and then maybe I'll glue a blue one next to it. And I could keep going in a pattern if I want to. Whatever way you want to finish decorating your rug is up to you. And I know that it will be super awesome because you are all amazing artists. I hope you have a great time finishing your weaving today. Happy creating!